Good morning everyone. So we'll begin with the revision classes for second internals. So as I told 1B and 2B will be questions from beams. So as you can see here, a beam is given in the question which is having two supports at A and F. The support at A is hinged support as you can see here, and at F is simple support. The other two supports you have is a roller support and a fixed support. So what you need to know here is, first of all, when you have different types of supports, how many reactions will come. So when you have hinge support, you have a horizontal reaction and a vertical reaction. When you have a simple support, you only have a vertical reaction. And similarly, even roller is similar like simple support. It also has only a single vertical reaction. Roller can be represented like a circle or a ball, like that also. And when you have fixed support, you have a horizontal, a vertical, and also a moment. Okay, so these things must be remembered when you are given with beam problem. So about supports, so here as you can see, the supports are like this. So obviously when you're drawing, the first step is to draw the free body diagram. So when you're drawing the free body diagram, these supports are to be replaced by these reactions. So as you can see here, I have replaced that with the reactions. Now we have to provide the loading on the beam. So the loading, as you can see here, there is a UDL here and there is a UVL here. I hope you know what is UDL and UVL and all, but still I'll be explaining that once again. So when you have a UDL or a UVL, you don't know how to do the problem. When you know only when you have point loads, you have only dealt with point loads, you know only that. But when you have a UDL and UVL, you will have to convert that into point load and then proceed with the problem. So that's the next step, conversion of UDL into point load. So if here you have a UDL value is 10 kilonewton per meter acting over a length of 2 meter. So per meter it is 10 kilonewton, means total it will be 10 into 2, that is 20 kilonewton. So when you are converting this into a point load, the value will be 20 kilonewton, and obviously it's common sense that it will act in the center because this is a uniform load. Okay, so I have made it act in the center, point load on the beam, and in between 2 meters, that is 1 meter, 1 meter. So this UDL can also be represented this way like a rectangle. Even it shows it's a uniform load here. The value of all these arrows is 10 and it's acting over a length 2. It's one and the same. Or else we can say, instead of taking 10 kilonewton per meter, that is 10 into 2 we did here, right? So instead of that, here you can take the area of rectangle. So area of rectangle, the height is 10 and the length is 2. So 10 into 2, 20. It can be said that way also. Okay, next we have a UVL here. So the height of this UVL is 20 kilonewton per meter and it's acting over a length of 3 meter. So here, like previous case, it was area of rectangle. Here when you're converting into point load, you need to find the area of triangle. So area of triangle is half into base into height. So as you can see, half base is 3 meter, 3 into 20 is the height. So when you are drawing it, you need to draw in the center, you know that. But triangle, it's not a symmetrical figure. That means if you cut with an axis here, let me show you like this. If I cut it with the axis here, it's not symmetrical on both sides, which means that center is not divided by 2. So we need to find centroid of a triangle, which you already know the equation of centroid of triangle, right? So centroid of triangle, as you can see, if suppose G is a centroid, from when you're taking along the base distance, from this is the apex and this is the bigger side. So from the apex it is 2 by 3 and from this side it is 1 by 3 of the base distance. So same way here, and the height is not required here because we are going to place it on the length of the beam. So from this side it is 2 by 3 and from this side it is 1 by 3. So 2 by 3 of 3 is 2 meter and 1 by 3 of 3 is 1 meter. So it is placed here. This 30 kilonewton, when we convert UVL into point load, is placed at this distance. So total distance of D is 3. Okay, so that conversion is over. Now sometimes you may have an angular load given in the question. In this question it's not there, but suppose it is given in your question, like 10 kilonewton is given at some angle 30 degree. Okay, then this you need to resolve and draw it in the beam when you are drawing the FBD of that particular beam. You know, this is cos, this is sine, mark the arrows, and that's it. Okay, so that's how you convert these given loads into point loads, okay, into either horizontal or vertical loads. So now we have the FBD, as you know, the reactions at both ends and the loads which we have converted just now, UDL, UVL, everything you have marked it here. And final thing you need to do every time is just add and see the length of the beam, that is 1 plus 1 2 plus 3 plus 4 5 6 7 8 8 meters. So total length is 8 meter. Make sure that the given question also has 8 meter and your FBD is also having 8 meter, because when you mark the distances you may make a mistake here, so be careful. Now how to solve this is considering the beam is in equilibrium, and we are going to use equilibrium conditions. So we know the three equilibrium conditions are sigma fx is equal to 0, sigma fy is equal to 0, and moment about any point, maybe any end point a f is 0. So I am taking here the moment summation of ma is equal to 0. Okay, so let's begin with sigma fx. So we need to go back to the question again, so I don't know how difficult it's to understand. So you can see here only one horizontal force is there, so obviously HA is equal to 0. Now next is Fy, sigma Fy is equal to 0. You can see how many vertical forces, 4, RA, RF, 30 and 20. RA is going up, so positive, RF is going up, so positive, 20 is going down, so negative, and 30 is going down, so negative. So I have written sigma Fy here considering this sign convention, and I got RA plus RF is equal to 50, that you mark as equation number 1. Next step is taking the moment about point A. Okay, so we know that moment is force into perpendicular distance. Suppose you have a length like this d. With respect to A, if you want the moment of this particular force, okay, you can see for this particular force, this is the perpendicular distance, so MA will be F into D, and here it's going clockwise, so it's positive. So here the convention for moment is clockwise is positive and anti-clockwise is negative. So as you can see here, I have taken the moment of all the forces. I hope you know taking moment, so I'm not going to explain it again. And I have found out the value of RF, and then I have found out the value of RA also here. So that's it, you got the reactions. And if you have a question, the question will be like this to find out the reactions. And sometimes in question you may have two beams. When you have two beams given to you, that's a compound beam, you will have to apply these equilibrium conditions for the first beam as well as the second beam. Make sure you apply for both and then solve the values. And suppose if you are given suppose such an inclined support, then what you need to do? See, you can see an inclined roller support here, and they have given the slope of this particular slide. Okay, so if I consider this angle is theta, then if I take tan theta in this triangle, tan theta is 1 and theta is 45 degree. If this is theta, then obviously you can see this particular angle here is also theta, right? So if you get that angle, you can find the angle for resolving the reaction here, and here the reaction will be also inclined. Because it's a roller support, you will have one vertical reaction, you know that, right? When you have roller support, one vertical reaction. Since roller support is inclined, you have an inclined reaction. That's the only difference here, and you have the angle also there, so you can easily resolve it. So when you have such questions, don't make any mistake, just do it as normal. Just make sure you are drawing the arrow inclined. Okay, I hope it's clear, and it's very easy portions, you can easily score marks. So this is the question number 1B and 2B. Thank you.